Thank you for tuning in to HardNews TV4. I'm your host, Terry Lynn, and this is the channel where truth is like archaeology, and every day we're digging for it. Today is October 16th, 2020, and I have top 12 for y'all today because I didn't know what articles to leave out. They're all important. So this first article is from yesterday from Reuters. Difficult winter ahead. London heads for stricter lockdown. Britain's making changes to local lockdown tiers. London moving to high alert from medium on Friday. That's today. Manchester may move to very high risk area. Concerns grow over economic hardships. London, Europe's richest city with 9 million people, was heading for a tighter COVID-19 lockdown from midnight on Friday as Prime Minister Boris Johnson tried to tackle a swiftly accelerating second coronavirus wave. So, it's a pretty interesting article. I must warn Londoners, we've got a difficult winter ahead. Okay, article number 2. This is from yesterday, also from Forbes. UK announces tougher COVID-19 restrictions for London, bans indoor gathering. The UK government has announced tougher COVID-19 restrictions for millions of Londoners as it attempts to stem the rapid spread of disease, a move that will prevent people from meeting with anyone outside of their household in any indoor setting. So let's say you're about to get married. Your fiance lives in another house. Y'all, you want to meet with, him. You want to spend time with him. There ain't going to be no seeing your fiance, people that you're in love with. If Granny needs to come stay with you because she's afraid of civil unrest about to break out, you can't bring Granny in your own house. If Granny needed you to take care of her and go check on her, go food shopping for her once a week, you can't do it. If you had to go over to Granny's every day to change her diaper or whatever, they say you cannot go in other people's houses. This is getting wild. Article number 3. This is from USA Today from yesterday. Justin Trudeau, Canada-US border will stay closed until America gets COVID-19 under control. Y'all, what if this is just a cover story? Okay? Every situation has a cover story. You have the official story, you have reality, there's spin, there's the cover story. What if we're really all locked down for another reason, and that's why we can't go into another country? And they're just telling you that the borders are locked down because of COVID. Article number 4. 8 million people have slipped into poverty because of the COVID since May as federal aid has dried up and people losing their jobs. This is going to be a very bad situation, and it's like we're getting starved out. The eviction ban has been lifted. People don't have income coming in. I mean, this is not going to be good. People will submit to whatever they have to submit to get their family out of poverty, out of starvation. I told y'all they're wanting to increase the misery index on us. Article number 5 from yesterday. We are all victims of the deep state's con game. The election 2020 Bamboozle. We are all victims of the deep state's con game. Okay, this is from Patrick McGoohan. We're run by the Pentagon. We're run by Madison Avenue. We're run by television. And as long as we accept those things and don't revolt, we have to go along with the stream to the eventual avalanche. As long as we go out and buy stuff, we're at their mercy. We all live in a little village. Your village may be different from other people's villages, but we are all prisoners. Look at this right here. This is not an election. This is a con game, a sham, a grift, a hustle, a bonko, a swindle, a flim-flam, a gaffle, and a bamboozle. It is carefully choreographed scheme to strip the American citizenry of power and our rights. We the people are nothing more than marks, suckers, stooges, mugs, rubes, our goals. We are victims of the deep state's confidence game. Every confidence game has 6 essential stages. The foundation to lay the groundwork for the illusion. The approach whereby the victim is contacted. The build-up to make the victim feel like they've got a vested interest in the outcome. In corroboration, aided by third-party conspirators to legitimize that the scammers are in fact on the up and up. The payoff, in which the victim gets to experience some small early wins, and the hoorah, a sudden manufactured crisis or change of events that creates a sense of urgency. So it's a con game. Article number 6, machines set loose to slaughter, the dangerous rise of military AI. Autonomous machines capable of deadly force are increasingly prevalent in modern warfare, despite numerous ethical concerns. Is there anything we can do to halt the advance of robot killers? Now, if robot killers without a conscience are able to kill the enemy, what's going to happen when they redefine who the enemy is and give them coordinates to go to your house or my house? Death by robots. Article number 7, the same society that wants to kill babies before they're born now wants to create robots with many brains that will feel pain and use artificial intelligence to repair themselves. Okay? So they're creating robots to live, and I told y'all they won't give legal rights to robots. They want to kill humans and give special protection to robots that can be programmed to kill all of us. Article number 8 is from today, from Zero Hedge. Pfizer plans to apply for FDA's emergency use approval during third week of November, marking a return to market pumping vaccine headlines after a string of halts involving trials for COVID-19 vaccines and therapeutics. Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla confirmed on Friday that the company plans to apply for an emergency use dispensation from the FDA as soon as a safety milestone has been achieved, which is expected to be achieved during the third week of November. So about the time we're wanting to give thanks, they're going to want to roll out a vaccine under emergency use. Article number 9. White House put politicals at Center for Disease Control to try to control information. Does this sound like a good idea? To control what we know or don't know? The Trump White House has installed 2 political operatives at the nation's top public health agency to try to control the information it releases about the coronavirus pandemic as the administration seeks to paint a positive outlook, sometimes at odds with the scientific evidence. Y'all remember that doctor that got killed from the CDC last year, and he investigated infectious diseases? Now, let me show you how the media spins, the story about the CDC doctor who was researching diseases who came up dead. Y'all remember that guy, Timothy Cunningham? Nice looking black man who they said left work and drowned himself. Y'all remember that? Well, look how they labeled this. Missing CDC's worker. CDC suicide, okay? It says, a worker, CDC worker, okay? CDC worker, and look right here, it doesn't say Dr. Cunningham. It says told USA Today that Cunningham's death was ruled by suicide. Mysterious death of CDC worker, okay? CDC researchers death ruled a suicide. Now they call him a doctor in this, okay? Essence.com, they call him a doctor. Critics cry foul after medical examiner says CDC doctor was a suicide. Okay, so he was an epidemiologist, or however you say it, and that studies how diseases spread within populations. Okay, so he worked at the CDC and he came up, you know what. And now the government has political officials at the CDC to control what information comes out. Don't you find that suspicious? Article number 10 is from yesterday. Election war games. A new America waits in the wings after pre-planned chaos. And what was that other article that we just read? That it's a scam? Article number 5 was the 2020 election bamboozle. We are all victims of the deep state's con game. And article number 10, election war games, a new America waits in the wings after pre-planned chaos. Remember the book, The Great Escape? The World Economic Forum chairman wrote that it's been the Great Reset, the Great Reset, about it was a pre-planned, COVID-19, the Great Reset. It's been planned. They want to destroy the old world to bring in the new world. You may initially read this article and find that it is partisan and unfairly targets the Democrat Party. We urge you to look beyond that initial reaction at the facts, not the emotions. Chaos is inevitable after this election, regardless of who is declared as the winner. This gives you a glimpse of a powerful group that has been wargaming the situation and their predicted outcomes. A person who wishes to be prepared, it's important to know that these things, that you may be ready for something that seems to be a planned event. I think there is going to be chaos, and they might lock us down hard to get a control over everything. There might be curfews. We might be locked in our house. Okay, article number 11. China tells their elite troops prepare for war as the United States destroyer sails through the Taiwan Strait. China has put its military in a high state of alert after 2 U.S. warships recently sailed through the Taiwan Strait. Late last week, the U.S. destroyer John McCain sailed near the disputed Paracel Islands, administered and militarized by China, upon which the PLA military warned the U.S. to halt its provocations. So tensions are heating up around the world. There's a lot going on. Biblical prophecy being fulfilled. Now, I'm going to be very careful not to say this name because I don't want an algorithm to pick it up and boot me, because this is something people aren't supposed to be talking about. But the man who received somebody's computer laptop says the reason why he turned it in to the alphabet soup people, I wanted it out of my shop, he says. The Delaware man, the owner, who turned over the MacBook containing this person's emails, photos, according to Rudy Giuliani, a sex tape featured him and another woman has come out to the public in an interview with Fox News. Now, before my big channel got taken down, I did a big old report on this person about how he left his wife to go move in with his deceased brother's wife and her children. So he moved in with his sister-in-law and was playing the part of the stepdad to his own nieces and nephews while he abandoned his wife and own small children at the house. The same person that got kicked out of the Navy for cocaine use. Then I did a video. In the video, I did an article that he returned a rental car with drug paraphernalia and cocaine residue stuff in the rental car. Then while he was living with the sister-in-law as the wife, he was in Las Vegas at a strip club spending money on credit cards in other people's names. And this is at the time he's getting all the millions of dollars from that foreign government for those introductions. He's in Las Vegas using credit cards under somebody else's name. He gets a stripper pregnant. She sues him for child support. The judge over the case dismisses himself, recuses himself from the case because he didn't want nothing to do with it. And then eventually Hunter Biden agreed to settle with the woman because he didn't want to go to court and have to answer some of the questions under oath. But listen to why this man says he turned in this laptop. He says, John Paul Mack told Fox News that he is legally blind, and therefore he could not be 100% sure that the individual who dropped off the laptop was that person. But when he was backing up the hard drive, he stumbled upon disturbing images, including porn, that freaked him out. Now, it must have been some pretty bad porn to freak a red-blooded, hot American man out. Apparently, although his blindness prevented him from positively IDing the person, it did not stop him from viewing the contents of the hard drive. Okay, now doesn't this sound like a communist country? I just don't know what to say or what I'm allowed to say, he said. Y'all, Walton and Johnson, in the middle of talking about it, was handed a note on air that they could not talk about this. The man says, I know what I saw. I saw stuff, and I was concerned. I was concerned that somebody might want to come looking for this stuff eventually, and I wanted it out of my shop. Can you believe? Says he contacted an intermediary about the laptop, and that the intermediary then contacted the three-letter soup agency. He said the guy is someone whom he's known for decades and declined to identify him beyond saying he was an American citizen. According to him, the agency first made a forensic copy of the laptop, then returned a few weeks later with a subpoena and confiscated it. Now, I'm sure we're not even going to hear anything about it, but this person is a dirty, dirty dog. Dirty dog. Sleeping with his brother's sister while he's living with her and making her promises and abandoning his wife and own children. He's out in Las Vegas spending other people's money with hookers, making deals with foreign governments, turns in a laptop with things that were very disturbing to where the computer repair guy had to contact the government. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. But what did we see? That this election is a con game. It's a con game. It's a scam they're running on us. So y'all please leave me your comments below and let me know what y'all think. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.